That is the sound of our life being packed away. We got sent to our room because we're just going to be in the way of the professionals. So that's it. Everything's gone. We've only been here for a year and a half, so it feels kind of strange to be moving out straight away. But yeah, that's it. Everything's off.
That's okay. What we can do is, if you only need to send the small anyway.
So the office is closed, so Helga's doing her meetings and work from here. I'm gonna sneak out for a cup of coffee with Evo in 10 minutes. I don't even know where to. Right in this corner, I used to have my desk and a speaker, and I would put the camera on top of the speaker and talk to you guys. I don't even know where to go right now. There's nothing. Everything's gone. Nothing. Where do I speak to you guys? Okay, we'll do it live.
No. We'll do it live! Okay.
Let's try this. Like that? Is this okay? 1 second. We're gonna do a little bit of show and tell. We're gonna be talking about this guy. This thing is one of the best buys this year. This and the Insta360 GO 3S is definitely on the list of best buys this year. I tried to have this with me everywhere I go because it's not only super compact, but it's also beautiful and super powerful. Like, this is the most powerful camera in the smallest possible package with the most beautiful design, hands down. I mean, it can't really compete with my Sony's, but this is the best camera you have is the one that you have with you. So let me just do a little bit of show and tell. Back in 2011, when I still lived in Denmark, when I was just finishing up my student years, one of the big purchases that I made was the original Fuji X100. I loved that camera. Prior to getting that camera, my dad had just upgraded his Canon point and shoot. I can't even remember exactly what the model was. I'll put it on screen. That camera was great because I rediscovered the category of point and shoot with that camera. He had like a little belt thing. He would like clip it on his belt, and he gave me that camera when he upgraded to a better camera. That camera lived on my hip, and I really noticed after carrying that camera everywhere, doing everything, that like my photography skill went up, because I was constantly framing up things. I was constantly, figuring out, what the best way to frame things was. And I got like a super good sense for that lens and that kind of format. And I loved using that thing. It even like at one point, the back of the screen broke because I had it on my hip, and and I think I was moving furniture or something, and I leaned on a wall or something dinged it, and the screen was destroyed. I couldn't even properly see what I was doing, but I kept using it. It was brilliant. So after that experience, I decided to get the original X100, Fuji X100, back in 2011. That camera was absolutely brilliant. Just like this one here, and I used it in everything. We moved from Denmark to Shanghai, but I did end up selling that camera because number one, it was faulty. There was a sticky aperture fault with it. It could only do f2. I couldn't stop the lens down. The autofocus on it was kind of sluggish, especially compared to the 5D Mark IV that I had at the time. And I also ended up selling it not because of all these faults, also because I was upgrading. I wanted to buy a new lens or something. I can't remember exactly what I was getting at the time. So I used it to finance that, but I really regretted selling that camera. I ended up buying, I think it was X100T or X100F or something. And then the same thing happened like a year or two after that. I sold it to buy something else. And then, of course, I ended up regretting selling that camera. So this camera is in such high demand that if you go into a store and you order it now, you're going to be in line and you're going to have to wait for at least 2 or 3 months. I think in the first month alone, they received 500,000 orders for the camera. And they have a capacity of producing 10 to 15,000 units per month. They even moved the factory from Japan to China to increase their capacity. And even with that, they can't really, they're behind on demand. It's crazy. It feels like, everyone kind of switched to phones for cameras for a minute. Like, all those, like that camera that my dad had, that little tiny point and shoot, those cameras kind of died off with phones. But there is demand for these point and shoot, high quality point and shoot cameras, like the Fuji X100 series, the Ricoh GR series, which I had one of those as well. Like, those cameras are in high demand now for a reason, because we all need to have a camera with us at all times. Sometimes like a picture or moment presents itself when we don't plan to have a camera with us. So to have a camera that is small enough to carry with us without like breaking our back or really feeling it, like it's small enough to be able to have with us just in case, those types of cameras are invaluable. And I've been going through the exercise of trying to have this with me as much as possible, and it's a really enjoyable experience using this camera because it's so tactile. Look at this. Like, if I want to change the ISO, I don't have to menu dive. I can just change it right here. If I need to change the aperture, I just change it right here. If I want to shoot manual speed, I can just change it here on a dial. If I want to be full auto, I can do that too. All of this is full tactile. I don't have to go into the menu and tinker. I can just look at it. No need to look at the screen. I can just look at the camera and do it analog. And that's one of the genius parts about this camera. It not only looks retro, it not only looks beautiful, but it operates like a film camera too. And the film simulations that Fuji provided with these cameras is brilliant. I don't use the film emulations that much, but I'm gonna start exploring that a little bit. I think I did already in this video. I used the kind of standard profile and I compare like the straight out of camera JPEGs to like the edited RAW file that I tend to use. But I'm gonna start shooting a little bit more JPEG and compare like the different profiles to the edited versions that I make. I think I'm gonna call it a day. I'm not gonna have this one a really long vlog. I want to keep it on theme. I'm not gonna ramble on about our move and our psychology and stuff that you don't care about. We're gonna stick to the theme. We're gonna try to improve the content. We're gonna increase the speed 20 to 30%. We're gonna be a little bit more engaging, and we're gonna grow, and we're gonna get better. Thank you so much for the watch. Hope you enjoyed this, and see you again tomorrow.